Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Kevin Mirallas from the Premier League. I usually do expensive players, as you probably know, but I will make certain exceptions. So as you can see, Mirallas actually has some pretty decent stats for a 78 overall striker, and his price on the Xbox is about 2k, and on the PS3 it's about 3.5k there or thereabouts, and also on the PC it's about 2.5k. So I want a quick look through his in-game stats. You can see he's got some pretty okay ones, but nothing that's going to be much better than you might expect from a player of his overall. 82 ball control, 90 dribbling, 81 finishing, 79 long shots, 78 penalties, 80 shot power, 79 volleys. High medium work rate, 4-star weak foot and 3-star skill moves, 90 acceleration, 89 agility, 76 balance, 73 jumping, 82 reactions, 89 sprint speed, 65 strength, as well as 80 attack positioning. So some pretty decent all-round stats there. Nothing too amazing for a 78 overall, I would say, but he's got some pretty good ball control and dribbling stats, as well as a couple of nice physical ones. So anyway, I'll move on to the clips of him playing in-game. So the first thing I noticed about this guy compared to last year was that actually his skill moves and I believe his weak foot had both been downgraded. I think his weak foot was upgraded to 5-star in the middle of the year. I'm not entirely sure, but I do remember a lot of people mentioning it on forums and such. And he was definitely 4-star skills as well. He was a right wing last year, and then they changed the uniforms to a left wing version. But to be honest, I think that lack of 4-star skill moves is somewhat disappointing. He is the kind of player that you would really like 4-star skills on, just to be able to do the scoop turn and the Ronaldo chop and such, because for a lot of players with high dribbling, they're actually really effective. With 88 pace, he's obviously pretty quick and one of the fastest natural strikers in the Premier League, at least in terms of goal players. And obviously I would say that's a big reason why a lot of people will look to buy him, and he doesn't let down in that regard. He definitely has a fair amount of pace, and although he's not the strongest, the pace does make up for that when you're trying to beat defenders usually. But what I did feel let him down was his finishing, and obviously being a striker you want him to have pretty good finishing, or at least decently clinical, so that when you do get into one-on-ones and pretty easy goal scoring opportunities, then the striker will score for you. But I'll be honest, you'll probably see from these clips, he didn't score a huge amount of the shots that he took. He did actually score quite a few headers. I believe at least 2 of his goals were the result of his headers, either the goalkeeper just saving it and him knocking it in, or him scoring directly from a header, which was actually quite surprising considering his pretty poor jumping and heading accuracy. They're not terrible, but they're not very good, and I wouldn't have considered him to be a player who would be an aerial threat of any kind. And yet, despite how surprisingly good he was in the air, I was still not impressed enough by his finishing to rate him as a true goal-scoring threat. His long shots aren't bad, but to be honest, they're not great either. And his shooting in general was definitely quite disappointing in my opinion. So anyway, I'll move on to the verdict, and I'm going to give this guy a 7.5 out of 10. Because being a striker, you really want him to be able to finish off your chances, and though he's actually decent in the air, I thought that with the amount of chances I gave to him, he didn't score as many as a lot of strikers I've had previously, such as Mirallas and players like that, who haven't necessarily had the best of stats, but they've just seemed to put away a lot of chances. I know a few of you guys are probably going to disagree with me on this one, but it's not like I'm biased against him or anything. It was just my experience from playing with him. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please leave it a like, get suggested player for the next review in the comments section, and apart from that, I'll talk to you on